I'm back for the second time today, except at a normal time. It's like 3-ish, 4-ish in the afternoon, which is a pretty nice time. The parents are out, my brother's upstairs. I don't even know if he's asleep still or what. So I found some free time to just, make a video about my day, I guess. It's been a pretty chill day, to be honest. Woke up, did some summer reading. I have the audiobook, which is interesting. I would have gotten the real book, to be honest, but they were all taken out at the library, and when I tried to go online to put it on hold for whenever they were returned, we only got Spanish copies, so we wound up getting the audiobook, which is totally fine with me. I took some notes and stuff, very interesting notes. The way I take notes is basically make it as weird and interesting as possible, so I want to look back to them, because if I wrote normal, monotone facts about things, I'd probably never want to look at it ever again. So I just kind of add as many smiley faces and exclamation points as possible. A lot of them are reactions to certain things that I found interesting or shocking. It's a pretty interesting book that we have to read for the summer. It's The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. I kind of just jumped in when it came to listening to it. I didn't know what it was about or anything. I didn't read any summaries or whatever. I was just like, alright, let's do this. It's definitely really interesting. More interesting than I thought it would be when I first heard a little bit about it in the beginning of the audiobook, where it was just like, this is about Jeanette Walls' life and how it made her a strong person, something like that. And I was like, well, okay. Alright then. But, it's pretty good. I'm very interested in it. I'm going to be listening to it probably all week, trying to get it done, as well as just, being completely fascinated by her life. Today, also, after I took a bit of a break from the reading, I went downstairs to find my parents building a table for the nook that we have that I am in right now, and the laptop is on said table. We got it at IKEA yesterday, which was a fun trip. Got chicken tenders at the restaurant. Those were really good for some reason. I didn't expect them to be as good as they were. They were good. But, chicken tenders aside, it was pretty interesting thing finding my parents just, over this round table trying to figure out where pieces go and putting it together, and I was like, can I help? Because I like helping mom and dad build things. Sometimes it's usually just dad, but I like helping out, putting things together and stuff. So I helped them finish up and help them carry it in here, and it's pretty nice. It's very relaxing here, to be honest. It's very soothing, and earlier today, Mom made tea for me and her, and we just sat across from each other and just talked about recent events and things, and just talked in general. It was really nice being able to just chill with Mom. I'm very family-oriented. I'm very dependent on my family. I care about my family a lot, and I like talking to them. I like having moments where we just talk for hours, just spend time together for hours. I like being close with my family because, I don't know, family's a nice thing to me, and I care about all of them, which is why I'm, really scared about graduating, because once I graduate, I have already made the decision to head to a Bible training college for like maybe a year, maybe more. Depends after the first year, see what happens. But I'm planning on going there, and it's so very far away from where I am now and where my family is. So I'm like a little bit terrified that I won't be able to survive without my family because I'm so dependent on them, and I feel like I won't be able to do anything without them, and I'm constantly worrying about it, and I'm constantly feeling terrified about it. And like I'm also going to be leaving friends as well. I'm not super entirely worried about that because I've got stuff like Skype, and I've got my phone, and just so many different ways to keep in contact with them, you know. Still, I don't know, it's like home, it's different when it comes to family, and when it comes to home, I don't know, I feel like I won't be able to adapt to being on my own. I'll be able to be as independent as I want to be in such extreme measures. And I made the decision to make such a giant drastic change despite my personality being one where I hate change. I don't like change at all, and while I made that decision, I'm still a little nervous about something like that, but I've got an entire school year ahead of me, so I can kind of worry and fret about that a little bit later, but I do know that school years go by a lot faster than you think it will, and then I'm not really entirely prepared for something like that, and I don't know, it's a lot of, I've talked about this a lot with my family as well, about all the things that I'm worried about, but I also feel like they're kind of like completely done with me being so worried about it. Because, like, half of me is like, oh my gosh, why did you make this decision? And the other half of me is like, this is the perfect decision, and I made this by myself, and I'm going to stick to it. And those two halves kind of collide at some point, and I kind of feel, sometimes I feel totally okay with what's going on, and then other times I feel absolutely terrified. And I guess same goes for senior year, because I'm putting myself out there a lot, and I'm also, the way things worked out, I kind of just dropped out of all my accelerated classes, all my AP classes. I'm now in a bunch of Regents classes, and a lot of people don't really know me, so I'm a little bit intimidated by having to go into a classroom full of people I don't really know, because I've only ever really known like one or two Regents kids, but mostly accelerated kids, because I don't know anyone outside of my classes for the most part. So I'm it'll be like practically walking into a new school all over again, which I'm not exactly looking forward to, but at the same time, I also know that this year's probably going to be a lot cooler than the past years I've spent in high school and middle school. So I have an interesting mix of emotions. My head's really messed up, and kind of lost in it all. It's kind of difficult dealing with everything that I feel, because they're all so different from each other. But in the end, I kind of don't really tell too many people about all this because I don't know that many people, and I also feel like I'd be bothering them if I kept like saying anything about this, or if I just said anything about this whatsoever to them, because it's like, it's practically like in video games, it's like you're not leveled up enough to hear the kinds of things or just say these kinds of things to a friend, and it's just like, okay. I don't know if I worded that right. I'm not much of a gamer. I tried to be, but I'm not very good at it. So it's mostly me just watching my brother play. I'm a very interesting backseat gamer. Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty much all I have to say for now. That's all I've got in my head at the moment. Subscribe, like, comment, or do nothing. Like I said, you do you. Doesn't matter. If anything, thanks for watching.